Afternoon, everyone. All 8.3 of you. I hope you're doing well in this fucked up economy with the Gestapo outside. Uh, it's a tough one, but if you even just get a snippet of me and Olivier, I thank you. I'm Evan Mastronardi, multimedia entertainer and stuff that brings in no money. Unemployment day number 150 something. And running strong. No, we're not trying to find work. But anyway, glad to be here and here with my good friend here on Pilled podcast with my co-host
Olivier Kersey. Today. The Nintendo Switch player.
Nintendo
That's what I
Switch
want to go with.
player.
Nintendo Switch player.
What we've been playing lately.
Depression.
Depression 2.0
2.0.
coming with its coming with great DLC. Anxiety.
No, but honestly, I've
Anxiety
been
DLC.
playing.
Did you get it? It's 1999.
But honestly, I've been playing this Mega Man collection, um,
Mhm.
and it's basically it's six Mega Mans. I forget what all they're called, um, but all these Mega Mans that I played, or rather one that I played when I was in middle school, and it was one of my favorite games. So I saw it at GameStop. I was, ooh, I could play all six. So I bought it. Well, technically, there's like 10 games in total because there's two versions to each one. So that's what I've been playing.
Just running through those. That's good. We got to get in touch. Getting in touch with our childhood and our inner child, always important. And for us, to some extent, that does involve many times video games. When you said depression, I was going to call it Depression and Clank. You remember Ratchet and Clank?
I remember Ratchet and Clank.
And I also love that Ratchet also means something for us that grew up in New York. I guess they have slang other places. Ratchet just means kind of crazy, like,
Yep.
turn up, lit. So, Ratchet and Uptown, Ratchet and Bronx. A lot of things you could do with that.
I also remember as a kid there was like a Ratchet and Clank versus Jack and Dexter type of thing going on. At least that's what it was for me growing up. It's like, hey, either you played Ratchet and Clank or you played Jack and Dexter. It was one of those two. You couldn't play both.
I thought Ratchet and Clank was kind of like for those who played Crash Bandicoot and then needed something new. Kind of. Because I used to play Crash Bandicoot.
I mean, to be honest, all three of them are basically the same thing. You just drive around, move around,
Move
destroying
around,
stuff,
jump around.
jump around, destroying
So,
something, and then you progress in the story.
but when I look back to Crash Bandicoot, I must say the like African wooden guy that like protected you. Would we say now that's like cultural appropriation or kind of fucked up? Because he literally came out the box and said "Utica Boudica." Okay, I don't, I don't know if that flies today. I don't know.
Most things from the 90s to 2000 do not fly today at all.
Yes, but that was wild. Okay, that was like that was wooden face. Like that wasn't like that wasn't even blackface. That was wooden
It
face.
was
A
just,
wooden African god with like multicolored feathers says nonsense, like not even saying a real language. That kind of. And I love Crash. I'm just saying they could have picked anything else. Make it like fine. Then make it like be a Native American god that like really has like the language coming out. Like fine, make it real then. But don't make it like some mix of like African Native jumble mumbo jumbo thing just flying around.
you can't be educational, politically correct, and fun.
It can all. I think it can.
Uh,
No, but yeah, go ahead.
no, I was gonna say, I was gonna, like if you think about it, like anything that's funny is gonna offend somebody, right? So if it's politically correct, educational, and fun, they just don't all go together.
You can offend someone and be politically correct. You sent me some stuff that was funny, and I was like, "See, that guy gets it right." because he was like, it was a white guy, and he was like making jokes in front of, what was it, a black bunch of black comedians, but he did it well. He did it in a way that was like
Oh
not,
yeah.
he would like not being a racist, like
Mm-hmm.
like half making fun of himself along the way
Yes.
for saying what he's saying. But also, that's comedy. This is a children's game with, could you imagine little white kids just pretending to be like the African wooden god at school? Like, this is not, you have to think about these things, guys. I remember a guy I remember fighting a bully and ultimately fighting him through protest, mind you. That's the type of kid I was. I ultimately led a protest against the bully because he wouldn't fucking stop doing the Crash Bandicoot thing where you spin and spin and spin and try to like
Mm-hmm.
hit people. And I'm like, Josh, stop that shit, and Josh wouldn't fucking stop it. Like, so I was like, I grew up a bunch. We're gonna circle you, and we're all gonna say, stop that shit. And then it drew the attention of the whatever underpaid teachers assistants running around the recess that didn't want to deal with anything, but they had to because you have a child protest starting, saying stop that shit around a man turning in circles about to like collapse. And then it was like, yeah, all of you stop that shit. It's like, see, it worked.
Oh, so it did work. See, all right, see, look at that, y'all. Protests do work. You just have to be organized and effective, and get Evan on your side. It'll
Yes,
work. I tried to do a protest against a school, and I got fired. So I don't know what I'm doing.
but that's adults. Things get worse when you're an adult. Things make less
Fair
sense.
enough. Fair enough.
So nobody wants to hear how old we are anymore. Um, so let's get to, oh yeah, who are we sponsored by? We're usually sponsored by Absolutely Nothing Vodka, and yeah, let's just keep it at that. Why
All
don't you
right.
want to sponsor us or any of the games that we discussed? Please, we're giving you free advertisement. Also, kind of saying some of your shit was needed to be fixed, but still, sponsor us, please. Naughty Dog used to be the one for Crash Bandicoot, and then I think they moved to Ratchet and Clank. But yeah, fun games, fun games. I read somewhere actually, kind of going into our current generation, and we're going to talk about that. Actually, games kind of do matter because our generation grew up with different kinds of games, and they
Yep.
were games with a lot more problem solving. And I
Oh,
read,
you know.
or did
Yeah,
you
yeah,
tell
yeah.
me that? Someone told me that we grew up with games that had more problem solving, and that actually, as far as kids playing games, is good because it made us like have to do more critical thinking. It made us
Mm-hmm.
have to deal with failure more. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, yeah. No, I spoke about it with my friend AJ about it, and he was talking about how he watched. And this is anecdotal, right? I'll admit that he was watching his nephew play a game. I think it was maybe Fortnite, one of those games, right?
Mhm.
And the reward was the reward was basically you paid for it.
Yeah.
That's the reward. You just paid for it. And then and again, there's another example, just myself. I love playing 2K growing up, and I love playing my career because I didn't make it in the NBA clearly, but I enjoyed playing my career, playing for the Knicks, and making them a
Okay.
championship.
Cool. I didn't
And the
know
thing
2K
is,
had that.
yeah, yeah. So they had that since like I think like
Like since
2K11.
then. Sorry, I know we're old. I didn't realize they had it at our growing up time. I knew they had it now because it was a new feature for MLB The Show when it came out. I remember.
Hmm.
So they had my career when you were young.
Yeah. So I did my career in high school, and I'd always they would do a whole thing. They'd be like, you have to get drafted, right?
Hmm.
Make your player, and you'd be at the very bottom. You sucked, right? You sucked. But you had to grind. You had to play games. You had to earn your minutes. You had to make the right plays, do all the stuff, and then you get your points from the game, or from the actual whatever, right? You take your points from the game and invest it into making the stats better of your player, right? Now it's just virtual coins, VC. You could literally pay like I think maybe like $100, $200, and now your player automatically just gets better. So I wanted to play 2K20 or 22, the one with Anthony Davis on it. So I played it. I was like, I haven't played 2K in a while. Let me play it. I bought the game. I played it. and I was grinding, and I was like, this grind feels so much
Right.
longer than usual, right? I remember like, oh, I had to grind for like maybe 2 weeks,
Mhm.
right? If I was doing by the schedule of the actual games, it would be like, all right, you'd be like after 1 month of grinding, you'd be a starter and you'd be pretty decent, right? Nah, man, I grinded. I remember I literally grinded for 30 days, physically 30 days.
And this isn't a game that we're supposed to do for fun. You know.
Yes, yeah. I mean, granted, though, it was COVID, so I had nothing else to do. I was playing like 5 basketball games.
All right, but COVID, we're adults now.
I mean, true. Yes,
We're used
yes.
to grinding is life.
Yeah, but all I'm saying was like it was so many times I thought to myself like, yeah, I could just pay for it. I could just put that $100 and
Right.
just get my player
Right.
automatically better. But yeah, after a month and then I'll say halfway through the NBA season, is when my player became actually decent. I could dominate and do things. I was like, oh, that took way too long. But I feel like they try and do it to make it pay money. And then this is my personal vendetta against 2K, and I refuse to buy another one ever again.
Mhm.
They connected my career to the server. So when the server went down, my player was gone. He was deleted. They were
So
just like, "Oh yeah, it's Christmas time." Nah, he's gone. That's it. I spent over 3 months, 2K, building up my player. We won a championship with the New York Knicks, and my player was talking to the fans, be like, "Hey, next year we're gonna do another one." I'm like, I like to be a man of my word, but now he's dead.
he's not
Doesn't
dead.
exist.
He's with. Well, no. Then wait, the server went down. It didn't come back.
The server, yes. So they do that, right? So essentially, like there's a new 2K out right now. I don't know what it is, 2K 26 or 25, whatever it is, right? The server's up now. You have everything there. Once the next 2K comes out, the current one goes down.
No, but you should be able. Okay, so that's where MLB The Show is different. You can load your previous one. I will choose not to. I will choose to do it again because that's more fun.
Mm-hmm.
But also in 2K, all right, this is going to be really for all the dudes who like 2K and Madden and MLB because everyone else is going to tune out, but I don't give a shit. We have, like I said, we barely have 0.1K listening. So like if we have you can't you can't save it to a cloud and load it.
No, you're just renting your 2K player, and they're
Okay, I
do
like
and they're doing it on purpose. They're doing it on purpose because there's people like me, right? I don't play 2K to go online and play against other players.
yeah, me
I
neither.
literally just I literally just play to do my career and that's
Right.
it, right? So therefore I'm okay with like playing 2K, I don't know, 2K18 for like 5 years
Oh,
because they'll
okay,
just
you
keep
different
generating
then.
new players,
Oh
right?
wait, you
I
don't
don't
play the season? You don't do franchise?
I'll do it, right? I'll do a franchise if I feel like, if I want to have fun or like do something stupid, just like mess around with the rosters, right? I'll do that. But I prefer doing my career. And 2K knows this. So they just connected the 2K my career to the servers itself. So when the servers go
Yeah.
down, they go down. So then I have to buy the next one. It's
All
basically
right.
a subscription. That's all it is. It's just a subscription.
Did Anthony Davis eyebrows improve as it went up? Because
Um,
I respect strong eyebrows having some, so I'm like I respect a man with strong eyebrows, competitive
I mean,
eyebrows.
he is the cover of the 2K game. So I guess he improved enough or improved a lot.
Okay.
So
I would have kept Melo here in New York. I would have if I could have been a friend, if I would have played franchise, I would have kept Melo here.
what I like to do is I like to keep Jeremy Lin in New York,
Yeah,
and
that too.
I also like to do keep Derrick Rose healthy.
Right. You could change the course of his career
Yes,
in
right.
having a long one with games. Yeah. Um I like Stoudemire when he was here. But then, do you remember when Stoudemire punched a fucking thing out of anger, and then the post ran something that said "glass hole"?
Oh yeah. He puts a fire extinguisher glass. Um,
What is it?
yeah.
What is it with New York athletes? So Kevin Brown, who pitched for the Yankees, went on the DL too because he got so mad he punched a wall, and that's especially bad when you're a pitcher.
So I listened to a few New York athletes, and a couple who've like played at different places, and I think it was Carmelo Anthony in particular. Might be paraphrasing, might be misquoting, but essentially he's kind of like the beast of the media
Mm-hmm.
and the scrutiny of like New York versus everywhere else is
Yeah,
different.
it's different. It's different.
Right?
I
The
would,
only other
yeah,
place comparatively is like maybe at least for basketball is like
Boston
LA Lakers.
and Boston.
Oh, and Boston too.
Yeah, Boston Celtics for basketball, Boston Red Sox for baseball. Forget it. Everyone knows your shit. I would say Patriots is different because it's the New England Patriots since it covers the whole
Yeah,
area.
yeah. And also they're a pretty good franchise, you know, like historically speaking,
Mhm.
they're solid and great. So whenever anyone else new comes in there, kind of like, man, it should be
Except
fine.
when we play them in the Super Bowl and destroy them. As a Giants fan, this is all we have to hang on to. This from like what is it now, 12 years ago? The last time we did it, but we did it twice. It's not a coincidence.
What's the last time? You know, now I gotta fact check
2012.
that.
So it's
Last
14 years.
time.
Oh my god, we're old. We're so old. Oh my god, it's
It's not
14
old,
years ago.
it's wisdom. It's
We're
wisdom.
wine. We're wine.
Oh no, you're right. It's 2012. Jesus Christ.
Oh, I
That's
remember
14
my
years ago.
championships. It was
I don't
28,
know, you
2000,
no, you got that. You got that.
2008
That was
and
14 years ago.
2012. In the yeah. Oh my god. Okay. Anyway, so speaking of this is what a lot of men won't have in the future. This type of reminiscing, and we to go into that, a man who cares about these things, Scott Galloway, has been on many podcasts. And while I have my criticism for Mr. Galloway, specifically when it comes to the greater context of other cultures, living in New York City and these big cities, where I think some of what he says can have really important alternatives for men, that will be for
Hmm.
probably the next podcast. For this one, I want to focus on his long conversation that he had. Um, I just realized I forgot what the pod because he's a guest. I forgot what the other podcast is called. Um,
I don't even know.
all right, we'll edit that part out and find out right now.
Yeah.
Uh,
It'd be funny if you didn't.
well, I didn't edit out the other part when I went away in the last one because it was actually hilarious, and I just heard it for the first time the other day. It was so when you started saying all the shit that I like died. Um,
I'm just waiting for it to happen
no,
this
but it's
time, so
funny.
I'll just
Uh,
uh,
who was he on recently?
I need to see my history.
Okay, guest.
Mm,
Oh, I gotta listen to the one with him and Theo Vaughn. I bet that's fun.
I think I do like Theo Vaughn, honestly speaking, because he's just so
I
odd. He's just
it's
so
right.
offbeat.
Like I like that he's authentic. Even if I don't like everything he says, I like okay, I really think that is Theo Vaughn. I like
Yeah,
that
no.
one of those dudes like when you hear Tracy Morgan speak, you're like, that is Tracy Morgan. There is
Hmm.
no other version of Tracy Morgan. Um guess
Let
who
me
is
see.
he
Let me see.
talking
Let me see. Yesterday, Thursday, Rick rolled. Hip hop is gay.
Rick Rolled.
Um, it's the We Need to Talk and the Professor G Pod.
We need to talk. No. Yeah, the one I wanted to know was the not the one that he was on. I know the Professor G pod. We need to talk with Paul C. Brunson. Okay, right,
That's what
right.
it's called.
Okay, so he's with Paul C. Brunson, who's a relationship coach. I don't really listen to him much. I liked him in this one. I don't want picture-in-picture mode. Okay, closest. Um, I thought he gave a very authentic. Both of them gave a very authentic talk in this one. Um, so yeah, so later I'll give. I just prefaced this with my reduced, summarized criticism that I'll get to more in another one, but this one I want to give. I like to be fair, and this one I think between this, him and Paul Brunson gave a very honest, genuine talk about being a man, about being a father, about what men encounter.
Yep.
That kind of broke a few walls. That was like showing vulnerability and showing. So I give them credit for that. So one of the things I want to close. And okay. I'll say we'll get to that in This Week in Men, and I want to open with more what's going on in the news lately before we get to that, which is
Which
a,
one, man?
a lot
There's
of
a lot.
right. Well, we can't save. I don't even want to say democracy. We keep talking. It's not even about democracy. It's just basic human rights at this point. It's like
Uh-huh.
I don't. We can't. We can only do so much there. So at least, hopefully, being inspirational to men, and also telling them when they're fucking up, and they're fucking up right now with Grok, which probably shouldn't. Not saying Grok itself shouldn't exist to some extent. It even I think owned Elon Musk once, like with his own like someone talking. Does Elon Musk have narcissistic tendencies? And then Grok was like, yes, and then Elon Musk was like, oh fuck Grok, and then but anyway, as with every tool, most of them can be used for or good or bad, depending on any sort of regulation. And everything needs some sort of regulation. Um, and what a lot of people are doing. So first, Grok is an AI tool on X, formerly known as Twitter. Uh, I feel so funny. So the only time I should be saying formerly known is Prince. Okay, the artist formerly known during that time. But anyway, on Twitter, because that's what it will be to the rest of us, there's an AI bot you could ask things. And many men, no surprise, have been asking it to undress women. Now, yes, does Grok necessarily care how old the woman is? If it's a girl, I don't believe so. I think there have been instances of underage. But beyond that, even if not, even just any given woman. Now, this is again, I know this is going to sound crazy, but I'm relating this to what we talked about earlier with the video games thing. Also, have you, as a boy, as a teenager, shit, even as a man, have you ever seen an attractive woman? Okay, Olivier's married. I'm not. Have you ever seen it? I've seen attractive women, and I grew up seeing attractive women thinking, I bet they look absolutely beautiful naked. You know what I couldn't do? That! I couldn't undress them, nor I'm getting loud, but because it's annoying to me. Nor should I. That's the whole point. The whole point is no one's you have your imagination, but my imagination does not supersede someone else's rights or boundaries. And these idiots today don't get that. They get everything. Anything they want, they can buy and they can AI. So if they want to see their crush, forget a celebrity. Now celebrities shouldn't be done to this either, but at least celebrities have money to you can buy things off Google to have certain searches decreased. You can do cease and desists. You can try to get things scrubbed, and you can also pay for more mental health therapy and shit. But
Yeah.
your crush in fucking high school can't, and college and shit at the workplace. These people are gonna have these images circulate throughout the internet and be embarrassed and and have all sorts of mental states. Shit, women who have had and girls, I should say, who have had pictures of themselves nude sent circulated throughout schools have killed themselves because of the embarrassment and the ramifications and the bullying and harassment that they faced. This is some serious shit. So, first off, Olivier, when you started reading about this story, what were some of your thoughts?
First and foremost, the first thing that comes to my mind, at least circling back to what we said to before, right? How like the kids today, you just pay for it and you automatically get it. We had to problem solve, right? So stay with me here, right? In the video game we played, if you sucked at it, you had to figure out how to get better and to solve that problem.
Right.
If you want to see your crush naked, you would have to figure out to talk to the person, right?
Yeah.
You fail multiple times and you keep talking. Maybe they'll say no multiple times. Who knows? No harassment, of course, right?
Yeah.
But if they say no,
Give up after a
that's
certain
it. You
point.
get
Yeah.
rejected, you move on.
Right.
Now these kids, you get rejected. Well, I'm gonna take a photo and go to Grok, and then that's it.
It's instant revenge. Also, it's
Instant,
terrible revenge. But
instant revenge,
yeah,
instant gratification. There's no more of a struggle. There's no more of a struggle. You literally pay for it and you get what you want. That's one. Secondly, y'all need to go outside, please.
yeah.
Touch some grass.
Hmm.
So it's like socialize with a human being, right? If you are over 21, go to a bar
Yes.
and just and be a regular at an Irish bar, at an Irish pub,
Yeah. Find one
please,
that's not racist, but do it. Hmm.
right? And just socialize with Jesus Christ. That's my thought process. It's like that's one. And the other thing was like at least talking about, like, just having your imagination, your thoughts. And I think back to when I took this philosophy class, and
Hmm.
essentially the question was like, hey, are thoughts bad, right? And my professor kind of gave us his opinion, and I agree with it. Thoughts by themselves are just thoughts, right?
Right.
They're neither good nor bad. They're just thoughts.
Right.
What makes a thought bad is when you put the commitment and the action to do that thought,
Exactly. Exactly.
right? And the key word here is commitment, right?
And that's commitment.
Right? You so I have lots of thoughts, good ones, bad ones. None of them are good or bad until I commit the action to make that thought come to life. So, you know, back in high school, even college, you saw an attractive person. I want to look like naked. That's it. That's all you have. There's no way to know for sure.
Right. And like, I don't know, this was just me. I was weird. I didn't obsess over those things because to me, it made me feel worse that I won't see that. So I didn't think about that much. I started thinking about
Yeah.
that if I thought the person actually liked me. Because if I'm the type of guy, I don't like too much. Like, I'm not a real fantasy based human. Because for me, too much fantasy just makes me feel sad. Like, it's like, I like stuff that is real and that I am somewhat close to, and it's
Hmm.
actually happening. If a crush doesn't like me, I don't want to think about that person anymore. When they like, I just want to move on because that's gonna make me just feel bad about things. But the thing that I think, and this goes back to some of what we were saying about like moving on and dealing with failure. They don't have that stopping point as much anymore. They're like, okay, I don't feeling bad is part of character development. Feeling bad and moving on is part of adulthood. It's part of being an
Rejection,
adult.
rejection,
Rejection is
rejection
part
is
of
part of it.
adulthood. Exactly. You have to learn to take it. Rejection doesn't automatically come with revenge. Okay,
No.
with a lot of young men now, it's like, what is this revenge shit? It's like, okay, even if she was an asshole to you, I'm sorry. And you know what? Eventually, hopefully, you'll go to therapy. Eventually, you'll think about what that maybe does to your self esteem. But you do not then get to put this person online for the world to see naked. This is not a proportionate response. But because so many men are doing it, I think it's become normalized. Fuck, Elon Musk has normalized it. The creator has normalized it. If you don't think having Musk and Trump in power, I agree that many times politically, in many things, Democrats, Republicans, whatever, are the same. But when it comes to rhetoric and images for men, there is a difference.
Hmm.
Donald
Yes.
Trump and his relation Elon Musk, I know they're frenemies now or whatever, but Elon Musk was chummy chummy in the White House and has an immense amount of influence. He is part of, as far as I'm concerned, he is part of the leadership of this country. When he is thinking the whole thing is funny, and not setting an example for men to not use this and not creating safeguards so that this won't happen. He is sending a message to all young boys that, yeah, seek revenge. It's cool. That's what men do.
I think the other thing is the fact that we sometimes look at people like Elon Musk and Trump and being like, how come you don't see it the way we see it? And I think it's because they are literally so disassociated and they're so far away from reality that they can't even comprehend a fraction of what we're going through, right? Arguably speaking, Elon Musk and Trump have never actually been rejected.
It's an
Have they
interesting.
had failures? Yes, sure, right? But like in terms of like truly being rejected to the point where like it hurts themselves to make themselves change as an individual, I would say arguably no,
Yeah,
not at all.
they haven't had. Yeah, they certainly never had working class rejection, just by a class
Right?
standpoint.
Right? You know, you never they never had. I'm going to say they never had a boss to be like, "No, you suck. Nothing you do is right." They never had a girl tell them essentially like I would never date you because of XYZ reasons in middle school and high school, right? Or even if they did, it would just be like, oh, right, I'll literally just pay for someone else to tell me I'm pretty and I look good, feel good about
Right.
myself.
Or they sought revenge, and that set the
Or they
precedent
just
at a young age.
right on top of that, right? Even if they got revenge, right? They got revenge.
Mhm.
No one held them accountable
Exactly.
for that. So
Exactly.
again, they never fathomly or quantify thought about an actual consequence of the action or rejection.
Hmm.
So for him, it's funny. I even watched a video of Elon Musk trying to give a joke about money and like how it's just not good, and he's stumbling through the joke, not realizing the fact that he is the joke.
Right. He
You
is the
you have
joke. It
you
doesn't
have
matter.
you you have to be so disassociated from every the majority of people's reality of just like what life is. So when you tell a joke, right? In my opinion, a good comedian knows and understands who they are. So people make fun of them. They're like, yeah, that's fine, that's true.
Yeah.
I'm not a comedian, but on Tuesday we had a meeting, and
Mhm.
long story short, someone said, oh yeah, Olivier inspired me to do something, and then my coworker said, that's surprising. Everyone broke out laughing. I did too, and I doubled down the joke. I said, hey guys, don't come to my classroom. I won't inspire you at all. Right? I doubled down, tripled down that joke because I understand the fact that it's just a joke, and I understand who I am as a person. I've
Yeah,
been
and
rejected multiple times.
well,
Whack.
and it shows confidence that you can't get to me. When you
Right?
double
But
down, it's like, yeah, okay.
but like but Trump and Elon Musk, like if you insult them a little bit, their character, they crumble. They crumble. And how do
They
they crumble?
crumble. Yeah,
I know, go ahead.
yeah, they crumble or revenge.
They crumble revenge, or they start insulting you, or like being like, I have more money than you. All right, so what? You
But
have
they also really, they also really don't respect women.
I don't think they respect people. I will go further than that.
Hmm.
Like I don't think they respect people who aren't in the same
Oh,
level
of
financially as
course.
them.
But it's levels. It's levels. Like if
Yeah.
somebody says Donald Trump is racist, I'll say, first of all, he's Trumpist.
Yep.
He thinks that Trump is the number one human. He thinks he is a super soldier. He think
Agreed.
he is super sane, super soldier, super sport, SS from the fucking Nazis, everything.
Hmm.
Okay? That's what he thinks. After that, if you ask him, if I must deal with another human, is it a man or a woman? Men are better. Is it white
Yeah.
or black or any other ethnicity? A white person. Like, yes, I think then he has supremacy for certain backgrounds and certain genders. I think, but I do want to point out that categorically, Donald Trump is an abuser of women. Categorically, he is a rapist. Categorically, he does not take rejection well. And we
Yep.
have someone in charge specifically from women. And I think in part because he didn't get rejection in other areas, like you said, when rejection does come his way from women, he doesn't take it, and sometimes he forces his way through it. And the same
Yep.
thing for Elon Musk. Elon Musk also wants to spread his seed. This is part of his ideology. He wants to spread his seed as far as possible. He wants to father, just father, not be a father, to father, the verb. He is not a father, really, except for, I guess,
He's not a dad. He's a
he's not a
father.
dad, except for that kid that I think is going to be like, he wants to be the next ruler when he passes, I suppose. But for most of his, especially the daughters, at least one of them has completely disassociated from him, and he has no respect for his trans child. He This is someone who sees himself and sees women also almost as vehicles for spreading his seed. These two men, who could probably have the most say over what's happening right now, and a lot of other men who are in charge of big tech. I haven't seen Mark Zuckerberg exactly say Meta stands steadfastly against any use of, no, because Mark Zuckerberg went on one of these shows and like said we need to be a more masculine company or some shit. So like, just because he suddenly realized like I can wear a gold chain and do something with my hair, I guess now he thinks he's supposed to be an alpha male. Uh, but anyway, I these it should be noted, just these this the people who are most in charge, and the person who's in charge of this company, Elon Musk, has so little respect for women that that's why this is so dangerous, because he doesn't, even on a forget basis of good business or not, on a basis of morality, he does not see women as equals. He sees women as objects. He sees women as lesser than. He and if that person is in charge, this will perpetuate. And if that person's in charge, it sets an image for millions of men that women's bodies really, at the end of the day, aren't that important and they're a joke. And I can use them for revenge.
Use him for revenge because I don't know how to. Oh, you know what? You know what? Perfect example of Donald Trump not accepting defeat or accepting rejection. The election of 2020.
Hmm.
How did he handle that?
Right.
That's I'm
We had an insurrection. That's how we handled it.
whoa. That's a big word, Evan. That's not how to describe it, right? They just had a big party,
At a big
right?
party.
Four officers died, one civilian died, and I believe four more committed suicide after that. But it was not an insurrection. That's not what it was. No, they did not just all just go into the Capitol and just
No,
try
they're
to
wedding
stop the
crashers.
vote. Right? Exactly.
They crashed the party they weren't invited
They
to.
just right. They're trying to do what Trump said, what his people were saying to stop the steal. Okay,
Love to
right.
steal.
That's all it was. That's
You
all
know
it
who else wants to
was.
stop the steal? Killmonger.
That's a good one.
And how'd that go? He stopped it.
He's also trained to do coups, um, with the military. So
Yeah, he actually went to. He actually joined the military, unlike Trump.
yes.
He
That's a
did.
whole
Yeah.
other that's a whole other
Yeah.
side topic. Honestly, we should probably break that down one day as well. The whole entire like the not just the premise, but like just the representation of multiple things in the movie because
Yeah.
that movie's
But you know
great.
what's interesting? After that, I don't know if I could say it's only because of that movie, but a lot of art was actually returned. Not all of it, but a lot of art was actually returned to native populations in years following. And I think it at least brought to people's consciousness that, oh shit, we've just been going to see things that were like taken without us. It wasn't just like, oh, they were just so kind to just lend this to us or this was ours. It's like, no, no, they stole it. They never gave it back. They've been profiting off it in museums. And after a
Hmm.
certain point, native, indigenous, black populations were like, "Yo, you're profiting." Imagine somebody steals like something precious in your home and then just put home and then charges money to get in, and it's like you fucked me on multiple levels. Anyway, um, it just was it just is funny they called it that. But yeah, I mean, these are the men in charge, so we are setting a horrific example for young men, and young men will find it normalized to do this to young women. Now, I want to say a second half of this that goes back to an earlier episode where we talked about American. I guess what is the big Supreme Court word? I can never say this word. Prurient, prurient values, which is like to distinguish between what is sexual and what is not. Um,
Hmm.
it also, this is the other reason why when I hear things like there's a leak, of someone nude and like their career's over. It's like we got to get over it. We got to get over seeing naked people. No one's career should be over because I saw them. No one should have that done to them. But if it is done, on top of that, no one's career should be over because they're naked. It is ridiculous to me that anyone, like, someone's career should be over because they were in the January 6th insurrection. That should end their career. Someone's career should be over because they have like 26 women saying this motherfucker raped me. That should end their career. It shouldn't end their career if I saw your titties. It shouldn't end your career if I saw someone naked that was not supposed to be naked. We should just get over it as a society. We have this huge thing where it's like we cannot get past this as a scandal. The other thing that would decrease this is if these images went out and men were like, okay. And if someone's future boss was like, okay, she's still a great employee. I'm still going to hire this person. This person still can do all these things. If me or your, God forbid this doesn't happen, if somebody put our meat out there in a fucking circulation, I wouldn't somehow want that to say, oh, now I can't get employed to do, like, I don't know, development work because there's a dick out there. It's like, what does this have to do with my work? Nothing. And I didn't want it out there in the first place. But even if, for example, even if the woman, because this happens too, and I would say if you send a nude to someone, and if you receive a nude, and you share that nude, like, really you shouldn't even share it in private with your boys. I think that's a breach of trust. But especially if you share that nude publicly, you don't deserve nudes. Like you have ended your deservingness of nudes. A nude is a private, lovely thing that you should keep. This person entrusted you with their titties or wherever other part of their body, and you
Are you suggesting that we have a nude license?
a nude license? What?
Right? You know, like you take a test, you take an exam, you take a test, and we're like, are you trustworthy with nudes? Right?
I'm
And
just
then
saying.
once you,
Yeah, I'm
I'm
saying
just,
based on action. Based on action, you clearly are not worthy of receiving these things if you are sharing them with the universe. This is a private thing.
sounds like a license to me, right? Because you're saying you can't trust this person with the nudes. Let's take driving, right? This
Right.
person gets in multiple car accidents. This person's speeding multiple times. What do? We revoke their license. You can't drive anymore. I mean, you can, but that'll be illegal, and then you go to jail.
Well,
What
yeah,
I'm just saying. If you're saying that, hey, we should have a nude license, I think we should have multiple social licenses for lots of things.
right.
But a nude license, I think, is a great step.
But I feel like it's more like something that once you've already done the negative behavior, I don't think you need one to get just to have one. I think it's more like saying this guy, and people do this now. I mean, doxing, I think, can go both ways. Sometimes I think it's done like way too much over
It's yeah.
things that don't deserve the entire public knowing about you. But many times, I think it is a good thing. I'm not for mob fucking violence. I think that can be its own problem too. It's like, but the thing is that if these men are not going to have accountability, right? If these men are not going to have accountability, what are we going to do? So I think same thing with even if they didn't do the Grok thing, even if they did get a nude, like that person now should be. It should be known that this person does this. That this person takes something very very private and precious, and also like I also obviously if I had children, I would say first of all, any image, at least in the state of New York, of someone under 18 that gets public, it's first of all illegal. So
Mhm.
if you're in high school, you really shouldn't be doing this. I'm sorry. Now that's easy to say as an adult. When I'm in high school, it's like, yeah, dude, you want to send.
You're in
But
high
like
school. You're in high school.
you're in
You're
high
stupid.
school, your brain is titified. Like your whole brain is like. But I think that alone, obviously, and even past high school, just you have to be careful as behavior. Like I understand this is why, like personally, I almost never ask for them. I almost never do because I'm like the trust that I would need from someone. Like I'm a guy. I don't care if I send a shirtless pic. It's different for us. Like
Yeah, of course.
we could put us at the beach and you'll on like fucking Instagram. It doesn't fucking matter. But for women, there is a different connotation to this. But also, my point is that has happened in part because of us as America. I don't think it holds the same weight in Europe. I'm not saying these things don't happen and it can't be traumatic, but I don't think it holds the same weight in places where you see titties everywhere.
No, no, absolutely not. But you know what? Let me take back my nude license. No, I'll increase it. Nude license and also nude offender, right?
Yeah, nude
So what
offender.
that means is nude offender, meaning that whenever you register with any cell phone provider, right,
Mhm.
and you've been caught, breaking
Ah,
that trust,
interesting.
every single time you register, right, you text somebody, right, that person receives your text and be like, just so you know, this person is a nude offender,
Ooh,
right?
interesting.
Out the gate, this person's a nude offender. That's it, right? First conversation from the very beginning. So
Wait a
it's with your
second.
name.
You have probably created an idea of if we had an accountability structure or anything happening in X, Twitter, with Grok, that could happen now. The people who did that could have that on their profile.
Yeah, they could.
It
They
could
could.
be on the profile that this person's an offender. There was a time when, like, the check mark, when someone was like a social profile or
Of
something, they would put
yeah,
something
yeah.
there. And again, a social profile, I should say, when someone was deemed an untrustworthy whatever, and that could be that could be legitimate or illegitimate, depending who it is and depending who's in charge. But my point is, I know Twitter has the capacity to do this because they've done it for other reasons. In this case, on the profile should say this person has used AI to make nude women of
Right,
real
or as a history of
has
it,
a
right?
history of using AI to create nudity of women. That should be there in the profile. That to me, because you know what, these profiles are showing themselves. This was not an like anonymous, like disclosed thing. There were just men going out there. Okay, maybe they could have used a different name for their profile that they've been going by, a pseudonym, but then that's their username pseudonym that everyone knows them by. For the most part, this was an out in the open thing. Men did this openly because, again, this is showing how people like Elon Musk and Donald Trump have showed our society that men can just do this and it's normal and it's funny and it's what other real men do. So, like, they're doing this just brazenly. So we need something that shows that men there's consequences. And I think you have the thing you said about the cell phone should be the consequence. Anyone that goes to that profile, at least for a period of time, should say on their profile, this person did this with women, and they should be the ones that employers think twice about hiring, not a person who is nude. Nudity itself is not, again, part of the reason this is a problem. There's two sides to it. There's the act of breaching trust and privacy, and there's also the knowledge of how society treats nudity. If society treated nudity like not a big deal, people wouldn't react to it like this. The fact that it would ever hurt not the employment of the guy who created this embarrassment for the woman, but the woman just for being out there. The fact that that creates any sort of harm to her or lack of opportunity for her is an indictment of the workplace and the society and religion, for those who use religion against her, because sometimes we live in fucked up societies that the woman who's been raped gets as much or not more scrutiny than the person who did it to her. Right. So that's an indictment of our values as society, and we need to make nudity more of a so what. You thought you did that to do something to her. Okay, she's naked, and what? She's still a great person, great employee. Shouldn't affect her hiring.
Yeah. At least speaking up for the Europeans. I said this before, right? I lived in Paris for 6 months,
Oh,
and I
cool.
had a German professor,
Hmm.
and he talked about nudity, right? And
Hmm.
like his point of view, nudity is just kind of like you're just naked, like it's just whatever, right?
Hmm.
And I think, especially here in America, we demonize nudity as like some sort of we do it as some sort of sacred thing of like you can only between you, God, and your other significant other, right? Like that's it.
Mhm.
But from what I think he's German. If not German, he's definitely like Belgian. Either way, right? Um, he would go to lots of nude beaches where he's from, his home country. They have
Right,
lots of
right.
nude beaches,
Mhm.
right? And like he had his American friends come visit, and they were freaking out. Like everyone's naked. He's like, yeah, everyone's naked. What's
Mhm.
like? It's not a big deal, right? It's just it's like everyone's agreement the fact that yeah, we're all naked, but it's not a sexualized thing. It's not a literally just not a big deal.
Mhm. Yeah, it's not. And once we become desensitized, a good desensitized, once that's normalized, I think we're in a better society that women will be less shamed for their bodies and for their nude bodies. And if we have that as a baseline of society, it is still a breach of trust. But at least we're in a society that won't do anything with that. They'll say, no, you just fucked up because she gave you something private and you shared it with the world like an asshole. That's it. That's where it ends. It doesn't just then go to, and because her body's circulating out here, employers won't take her seriously. You know why some employers won't take her seriously? Because if those guys had the chance to get away with it, they'd probably do the same thing. That's why.
Yeah, yeah, for sure,
Or we
for
believe in
sure.
a culture where we victim blame. Well, she shouldn't have sent that to him. Or even if she didn't send it, well, she shouldn't have had any images of her naked. Or what if she's AI? Well, they're just boys being boys. And she should
Yeah.
do something to like stop this. Like there's no like or oh well, now she's naked, I can't take her seriously. Why not? Why can't you take everyone has a naked body? It's like it's not like you're seeing something's like, what, she has a tail? I didn't know that. And shit, one day, if we evolve and have tails, that doesn't mean she can't be a great, I don't know, paralegal or something. Like, that doesn't change anything. So, it's interesting. I'm watching a very good show called The Girlfriend Experience. Um, Apparently, Steven Soderbergh directed a movie. I didn't know there was a movie. But there was first a movie called The Girlfriend Experience, directed by Soderbergh, who's one of my favorite directors. And he executive produces this show called The Girlfriend Experience, and that happens in the show. A sex tape of her that she did not want released is sent by her to the law firm, and she has to go. Now, if she actually did that, obviously it's an inappropriate thing to send your fellow colleagues. It's harassment, and she should be gone. But the thing is, she didn't send it. Somebody hacked her computer, and anyone with 2 cents would know that there's no way this person that's a 3L trying to finish law school, who needs this internship, who's trying to make it as a lawyer, would send this to like when you look at the CC, it's like every single person she works with, all of her family, like everyone should have known that shit was hacked. But
Hmm.
no, she had to go
That's
just because of that. And I like
right.
what she. It was tough, but at first she actually tried to stay. She said she tried to say, "I'm going to make a point," and I'm going to say why. Why? What happened? She almost acted like it didn't get sent out. At first, she like obviously had a breakdown and was like, "What the fuck just happened?" But then, and to be clear, she's also a sex worker, right? But regardless, if you're a sex worker or not, there are private videos that you do not want. First of all, it was actually she didn't want that filmed. Someone else filmed her without her knowledge, which is its own, which
That's a
is
whole
crime in
other thing.
itself. Crime in itself.
Yeah.
And then that was leaked through someone hacking her email. But she at first was saying like, what is, because it's like when people would talk to her and be like, um, oh, I saw that thing. Well, how's your day going? And she
Hmm.
would say, what are you talking about? And she at first tried to do that, but then the men couldn't hold it in, and it was, she had to end up going. But it ended up being something that essentially could have been dealt with entirely differently. It could have been dealt with, hey, clearly you were hacked. Clearly you did not want to send this. I am very sorry that someone did this to you. As a law firm, we're going to do our best to get to the bottom of it, because we're going to go to our IT team and we're going to help you out. And obviously, this doesn't impact your abilities as a lawyer or trying to become one. That's a functioning society.
That's also unfortunately right now idealistic, right? And
Of course it is.
I do think the other thing is the fact that at least based on what you're saying is that all the characters, all the people are based off of what our society would probably react to. I
Yeah.
think they're so shocked
Hmm.
by seeing this that they don't know how to react. So
Yeah.
there's gonna be like personally for me, like if I were to ever be in that situation,
Hmm.
um, and I know that because I'm a man is different, right?
Yeah.
But if I were to somehow be in a situation, to be honest, I would have to address it, right? I
Yeah.
would address it and double down. I'd be like, if you got something to say, just say it,
Right. But I
right?
would say
But
that
again,
too. But we're men. It's a
but
little
but
different.
again, it's different. It's different from being a man versus being a woman. Honestly, if a woman if it happened to a woman and that happened and she did what I did, I would respect her so much more. I'd be like, shit.
I would, and I respected the actress Riley Keough does a great job here. I had no idea Riley Keough is Elvis Presley's granddaughter. I didn't even know this. Maybe she personally has a different name because of it. But anyway, she's really great in this, and her character I know is really trying to be strong, and that's why again we talked about the female gaze. That's why you could tell even
Hmm.
Soderbergh produces it, and Soderbergh himself is good at like not having the male gaze in many aspects. But this is also an almost entirely either co-directed or fully directed by a woman, so you can tell like the way that they have her do things is like mixing this like we have to be this type of strong woman in 2020. It's 2016, but still, especially in
Hmm.
2016, we have to kind of be like this strong female character, but I'm still a human. I'm still allowed to have emotions. So like when she's trying to stay it, it's clearly a struggle for her.
Yeah.
But my point is that the top administration should have acted like that. The people around her, regardless if they're lawyers can be dicks too. Um, they, I agree, are going to act like that because society, especially men, haven't been taught any other way to act like that. Look at what's happening with Grok. But the people at the top, the people who are making all that money, the partners at a law firm who make millions of dollars, they should at least have the level heads and say we're going to set a good example of how to deal with this type of harassment. But they didn't, and I think that's realistic. Honestly, I don't think most law firms would. I think the whole way they did this was entirely how it would go down. Um,
Uh,
yeah,
I guess I'll have a few clarifying questions. The character was an intern, right? Was an
she
intern,
was a law intern, correct?
a law intern. Okay, so I have to. I when I say I have to do this because think about the character from the executives, right? I agree with everything you're saying, right?
Hmm.
In the eyes of the executive, these top lawyers,
Hmm.
what's the bottom line, Evan?
Money,
Money, right? So
money,
it's like, do you
reputation, fame.
right? Money, reputation. Do you either a spend potentially millions of dollars
Yeah. Hmm.
to invest and to save this one intern, or let him go?
No, no, no. It's 2016. Me Too is well. I guess in 2016 the Me Too thing didn't. It's about to happen. But anyway,
It's about to
well,
happen. Yes.
I would say no. I would flip it. I would say, oh shit, we can be the law firm that gets great media attention for handling this well and supporting women. And I think that would make more people choose them, especially since the law firms that ended up defending Harvey Weinstein became very public, and the lawyers that ended up doing that became very public. So I would say that they're too rich. They lose money all the time. You don't think law firms lose money?
Of
Law
course they lose
firms lose
money,
money
but
over the silliest thing. So
yeah,
if
but
they're
they
smart,
do calculated
yeah,
risk. They do the calculated risk of like,
I
all right, how
know,
much
and
money are we going to lose?
they're
So
gonna let her go. Of course they will. But if they're smart, it's not just a morality thing. If they're smart, they actually realize the tide is turning, and there are women that are going to not invest in them and not send their clients their way because that happened. And guess what? Every other law firm gets to say, but doesn't have to go through. We would have done it differently.
fair enough. Fair
Every
enough.
other law firm gets to say we would have respected women. Don't go to them. If that happened to one of ours, that's how I would play it. But anyway, Anyway, the point being, this is the type of male behavior that's reinforced. Now, to go to the This Week in Men, Scott Galloway and Paul Brunson talked about masculinity and how it can be better. I think that this is a perfect example of what the masculinity that is reinforced by society and the world we live in, and where we want it to go, and what they talked about is more where we want it to go. So, in relation to men and women, what they discussed a lot of things, including how economics have put men in different areas. So this example is, here are men. I'm just trying to find my charger for this. Here are men of high economic status acting like children when her tape comes out. High economic status doesn't buy you anything. And certainly there are women who will date people of bad character who have high economic status. Certainly there are women, out there who will do that. But I do agree that men, especially, are falling more and more behind economically and in education. And we do have to do something about this. I think
Yeah.
along the way, we also have to do something about character. And they did talk about those things. One of the things Scott Galloway said that I thought was good was about, right, dating apps and dating. When he was young, he said, look, it's not that every, he said, in many marriages, this is one of his statistics. I just remember him saying the majority. I don't remember the exact statistic. He said the majority of marriages have one partner that was at least in the beginning more interested in the other. Right.
Yep.
So the notion that two people meet each other and are equally interested, or even have equal and both are attracted to each other, that doesn't always happen. It does, and it's great when it does, but it doesn't always happen.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, what ends up changing many times to build attraction, which is more common with women. As men, we are more visual in our attraction. With women, attraction is, yes, visual, but sometimes it can also build, is character. Men don't have as many opportunities to show their character, to show how they are around different people, especially if a large portion of people are dating online. You meet through online. You don't have a backstory, right? So men don't have as many opportunities to basically show women how the type of spouse, the type of boyfriend that they could be. And I think that even ties to the other things they talked about being economically behind. Because if you have both of those things, if you're economically behind and you cannot show your character as much to women because so much is done through technology and whatever the hell you post on Facebook and X and Instagram and TikTok, and fewer people go outside to meet people. Fewer people go out to meet people. If a lot of people are going to the bar many times, it ain't like decades ago. I can meet people on Bumble. I'm going out with the girls. I'm going out with the boys. I'm just going
Mm-hmm.
out to chill. The notion of people asking people out from a bar or many other things or many other forums and places to meet is almost becoming a thing of the past. So I don't have in IRL, I don't have real place experiences, opportunities as much as I would have decades ago to show someone the breadth of my character, because so much of that has already been taken care of by an online impression. How do you think that men currently, regardless of their economic status, but especially for men who are working class, how do you think men can show their character to women that they're interested in today?
For
While you say that, I'm
me,
looking for my charger. But go ahead. Yeah.
yeah, okay. So for me, this is my advice, and I know my advice is I would say any advice you take or you listen to,
Mhm.
take with a grain of salt. Mine,
Yes.
take it with the biggest grain of salt possible.
Hmm.
For me, I would say I wear my heart on my sleeve, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I literally I love my martial arts school, and I literally have tattoos from my martial arts school on my sleeves.
Hmm.
So, and I always roll up whenever I wear a shirt. It's always shown, so people automatically see my tattoos. So
Yeah.
I think one I enough tattoos show character. Um, the way you dress also shows some sort of character. For myself personally, I wear hold up, I make these little Pokeball heart tie clips,
Oh shit!
right?
I didn't know
Yeah.
that.
So when I wear my tie, I wear one of those. If you see it's a heart, you think it's a heart. But if you see it's a Pokeball heart is like, hey, is that a Pokeball? Is that a heart? Is that a Pokeball? I was like, yeah. And we have a conversation, right? I think there's multiple small ways to allow people to see your character. Um, just like little things. I have dreads, right? If you work out, right? If you work out and you look buff, right?
Mhm.
It's just like, oh, there are multiple ways to show your characters or show your character or show your
Yeah.
personality. Um, if you have like 4,000 tattoos on your face, you're showing your character. You're showing who you are, right? You're literally saying like, hey, I don't care what society says or thinks about me. I do what I want, all right? And that's
Mhm.
that's what you're doing, right? Um, if you show up to a date or show up to a place with with a bunch of holes in your shirts and you stink and you smell and there's like I don't know, like you smell like a little bit of pee, you're showing your character, right? Whether you like it or not,
Yeah.
right? How you show up and the thought you put into your outfit or appearance is also partially showing your character. Now, can you lie about it? Absolutely. I've worn a $2,000 suit once, and I was like, "Look at me, I'm the richest man ever. I am broke, Evan. I am
But
broke."
we're New Yorkers. We have Jordans. We have suits. We don't. We style in New Yorkers is like even I could be broke, but I have to look good.
Yeah, yeah,
I should
essentially.
say style for especially those of us that grew up in more of the uptown and the urban areas of New York. It's like there's always a thought that, and unfortunately, it's this weird like broke slash capitalist flex when we grew up in school. Like who got the nice shoes, and I always joke
Hmm.
I actually did have Pippins, not the Jordan. I actually did have Scottie Pippen had his own shoe too.
Yeah, so does Shaq. People make fun of those. I'm like, they look pretty good.
Well, what's interesting was when Starburys came out. You remember those, and
I got a story about that.
again, his whole point was to make them less expensive. I
Hmm.
saw in high school, it came out of high school. I didn't see the same shit. I thought like, oh, okay, this is the power of athletes actually talking and having purpose. It's because he made that known that it became like
A
accepted
thing. Yeah.
because he was like, yeah, that's what Ahmad Starbury is doing. He's saying a Starbury. No, I'm sorry. Starbury.
So, so-
Right.
yeah, yeah,
Right. Stephen Marbury. Sorry.
yeah,
Like so, we just talked about Stoudemire, and I mix up the name. But
yeah, yeah.
right, that's what he said publicly. So it's like we need. This is why it's also important for our athletes and famous people to speak out because it normalizes certain things and it makes them cool, quote unquote. So if people didn't get jocked for that. But yeah, just New Yorkers, especially when we kind of grew up with this thing that if you want to be any sort of cool or be in any sort of attention with women, get a haircut, like wear Axe. Remember that bullshit? We used to wear
Oh
Axe.
God, hacks
Right?
still suck. I mean,
Not
they've
that
gotten
women
better, but they
like
still
these
suck.
things. Not that women necessarily like these things, but these were like the messages to us.
Yeah.
And it is good to care about your appearance, like you said. But it went a little over the top, and sometimes people would make fun of other people, even if they were both broke. But one of them somehow
Hmm.
got the nice Jordans, and the other one had, the Black Air Forces, the famous Black Air Forces from like 5 years ago, and still running strong, no matter how fucked up. Uh, and that became a butt of a joke. But make the part of the character to go back to the dating part is you're making an effort.
Yeah.
Making an effort. You care about your presentation.
Hmm.
I respect this time with you. This is a date. I care about my presentation. I care about how I look. I care about how I look because I value this time, your time, and this type of thing. I value dates.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I completely agreed. Um, but shoot, man, I don't even know what else to add to that part. To at least to the question, like, how do you show
No,
your
but
character?
to your point though, what I want to say is, but there is an implication here that the other person will pay attention to notice these things. So
Yeah.
some of these things that you mentioned are things that yes are like, for example, working hard at a martial arts place, like the effort you put into showing up day to day. The effort, like even if you're not going to a date, if you care about your presentation day to day, those things I think are something that um, someone can see your character over time. For something
Yes.
like on my shirt or on this that I'm passing someone, those things
Mm-hmm.
involve another person who's an observer, at least, to actually try to have a conversation with me. So that's the part that's a little harder now, I think. I think the other part about like the consistency of you caring about your presentation, the consistency about you caring how you treat other people, that's more the you don't know who's watching part of the thing. So
Yeah.
maybe talking to this woman and maybe she doesn't seem that interesting, but she's actually starting to pay attention over time. Oh, he really does like put his best foot forward, tries to present himself every day,
Mm-hmm.
especially if this is someone you work with or go to college with, like or sees you on a regular basis, that they can see over time. So
Yes.
that requires you basically to have certain good masculine habits for yourself. Putting your best, trying to present yourself as best you can wherever you go. Unless you're whatever, just going to the deli down the street, it's like whenever you're going to any sort of function, try to, present yourself well when you present yourself to people and interact with them with respect because you never know who's watching.
I had some either it was a video or somewhere. It was just like characters,
Mhm.
like a definition of character. Character is a habit that you build when nobody's watching, something like that,
Mm.
right? So like who you are as a person, like when you're with a bunch of strangers, how do you act? How do you do that? I think that's one way to find an indication about somebody, and I think another good way to find out about someone's character is how do they treat somebody who can give them nothing,
Yes.
right? I think it's a
Right.
good I'm not promising you anything, right? I'm just saying a good indicator, right? So like for example, I have a my business partner, right? A business partner, Alex, love him to death. Whenever we go out to eat, right? He's always saying
Mhm.
thank you. He's always saying this. He's always talking to people, having conversation. He's more social than I am, right? And I enjoy hanging out with him because of his character, just because who he is as a person, right? When we go out to eat to a restaurant, he's always saying thank you to the waiters, waitresses, right? All this stuff. He's holding doors for people. Um, when he talks to girls, talk to women, he does a typical like his little opener line. He's like, I'm a photographer. He's like, you ever thought about doing a photo shoot? Like, you want
Yeah.
to do like a quick one right here? And he has a camera. Takes it out, takes a couple photos, show it to the girl, and she's like, yeah, I like it. And it's just a nice conversation. He's not expecting anything. It's just a nice conversation. Um, all that to say is the fact that like all this is the fact that I know another person when we go out to eat and we don't hang out. We haven't hung out in years, but when we do, right, and you talk to the waiters and which doesn't say thank you, right?
Mm.
Um, you know, after the after the meal's over, he automatically like send me like the Venmo requests, to pay him back. And I was like, we could just split it right there, right?
The Venmo request,
It's
the post Venmo request. And they
whatever.
talk about this in the thing that men
Yes,
are doing
yes,
this now.
right. Or like another thing was like, hey, I asked to borrow something, right? I'm gonna take it, use it, and bring it back.
Hmm.
He's like, yeah, sure. It's gonna cost you $15. I was just like,
He charges you to borrow things from him.
I mean, it was film equipment, granted though, right?
And
And at least to me, I was like, you know what? I'd rather just go buy the equipment myself, even though it costs double, right? Because to me, if it's something small, yeah, here, just borrow it, give it back, or
right,
just whatever, right? The price, to me, the price of that thing isn't worth more than the friendship itself.
right, right, right,
Um, but yeah, but all those characters, all those things kept adding up. I was just like, yeah, nah, I just don't want to hang out with that person
right,
as much.
right.
Um, so all that to say is the fact that like, listen, I guess what I'm trying to say is to men and women,
Hmm.
right, or anyone out there who's trying to date, right, look at how that person treats somebody who can give them
Hmm.
nothing, right?
Wow.
Even when like homeless people or whoever it is, they're begging for money. At least me personally, I don't carry cash, but at least I look at them and say I don't have it,
Right.
right? There are
Right.
some people who enjoy, who find the joy of literally spitting on them and like
What the
talking bad to
fuck?
them to like get a job. Yes, people enjoy this. There are some people who enjoy that.
Yeah, because it
They
makes them
yes,
feel better about themselves. Unfortunately.
exactly. Right? It makes it feel more important. Right? But yeah, all that to say is the fact that yeah, again, what I'm trying to say is the fact that I would say you could judge a person's character, or you should be able
Mhm.
to, based on how they treat people who can do nothing for them, right? Or random thing, make them hold a baby. If the baby
Interesting.
starts crying,
Mhm.
don't
Sums up.
thumbs up. Especially if the baby's like a friendly baby and they just go around
Yeah,
hugging
baby's usually
everybody,
friendly.
right? It's just like oh, they love everybody, and then they see that one person, immediately start crying.
Mhm.
Question. You should definitely
They,
question it.
yeah, that or it grew up in a Red Sox household and knows on the air. But that's a great segue into the next thing we're gonna do. I'm just waiting for this ad to stop. Okay, here we go. I'm going to do a share because I want this part of go. Let me know that you can see this. Okay, can you see it?
Yes, I can see it.
Okay.
How did it change how you show up in the world? How did it change
Great
any of these
questions, yeah.
addictions?
Look, you're gonna find how old are your kids?
15 and 11.
So, and you probably already discovered this, but or maybe I won't speak for you. My whole life has been about more. I want more money. I want more interesting experiences. I want more relevance. I want more accolades. I want to be invited to more and more fabulous events. Oh, there's Saint Tropez. Wait, I hear there's Ibiza with amazing DJs. Oh, I can fly business class. Is there a first class? People charter jets. Oh my god, there's fractional. My god, I don't want to challenge a 300. I want a 350. Wait, there's more, more, more. Maybe that's fundamentally fucked up, but it's always been about more. The only time I ever feel fully sated, the only time I think, okay, this is it, is occasionally there's a moment with my boys and my partner. We're watching Premier League football or something, and my 15-year-old just instinctively throws his legs over mine. And the dogs are there, we're safe, everyone seems pretty happy, and it's like, I can't imagine more. This is it. Like, I could leave lightning strikes me now, I'd be bummed, but I feel like I had some purpose. I'm raising loving, patriotic men who feel good about themselves. This is it. And it has been a lot of work and a lot of anxiety. Like, this whole Hallmark commercial they're supposed to be having kids, no, that doesn't exist. Puts stress on your relationship with your wife. It's really hard. They can be really awful, but the payoff is occasionally I feel like, "Okay, this is it." It's the only environment I've ever felt that in. No matter what happens professionally, economically, I've always thought, "There's a next level. There's a bigger, better deal somewhere," and maybe that's me, but the only time I've ever been like, "Okay, this is enough," is in the company of my
Your
sons.
sons.
I want to stop there to talk about what he said. Now, obviously, we don't. I our more right now is different than his in multiple aspects. But I do think in a capitalist society, he has a point when it comes to constantly wanting more, even when you get good things that you need. But that sense of fulfillment that he talked about, how did that compare to the other things that you wanted in your life?
I'm going to open up with this, right?
Mhm.
As much as I appreciate Scott Galloway, as much as like when I say appreciate the things that he's doing, I also dislike him, and I'm realizing that more and more. The reason I dislike him is because we're
Mhm.
similar. Um, because I also want more, right? I have a small little business, my friend Alex, and
Mhm.
like we just started off this year, like sort of last year, but like we're doing okay. We do a couple events. I'm like, we need more events. Um,
Mhm.
I'm making more money now as a teacher, and I'm thinking about like doing my plus 30 credits to make more money. Um,
Mhm.
I with my martial arts, I'm at my second degree black. I'm like, I want more levels, right? And uh, even when I make videos or edits, and I'm doing something, I'm like, yeah, but I want to look better. I want more. Like it, there, I do. I continually want more, and that feeling of like of being satiated, being like, yeah, this is like nothing can beat this. I don't care what happens. Is a moment I'll say is it happens like once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks. It's me, my wife, and my daughter. We're in our bed and we're all hugging together. And like the baby, she'll like look at us. She'll say something, some jibble dabble thing, or sometimes she'll fall asleep. And I'm just like, I'm good. I don't have to leave. Like the feeling or the anxiety of like, all right, I gotta go do this, that, and the third, or whatever it is. I'm just like, nah. Um, like last night, unfortunately, my kid, she threw up, but I mean, she's fine. She threw up, so she had to sleep in her bed. And then I woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning because I'm an early bird like that. And my wife's sleeping, my kid's sleeping. I just look at him. I'm just like I could get up and go work out. I could get up and go work on a post or an edit or a lesson plan. Or I was just like, nah, I just want to be here. That's it. And it was nice for about 3 minutes. Then my kid farted, but but other than that, that feeling of just like it's like oddly enough, right? The things that I want more of, whatever it is,
Mhm.
are replaceable.
Mhm.
Those are all replaceable. My wife's not replaceable. My kid's not replaceable. Knock on wood, they're both gone. I could get remarried and have a new kid, but they're not replaceable. They're the
Yep.
only ones I have, and that's it.
One of one.
One of one. Um, so yeah, I definitely resonate with that portion of just being like, yeah, no, this is enough. This is
And
yeah.
I think what I do like about Galloway is that he is bringing kind of this acknowledgement of our own capitalist world where so many people, like the people we just talked about, Musk and Trump,
Hmm.
they will not stop to see the value in that. It is just more. Life's purpose is more. Life's purpose is not to stop ever. To like stopping is a waste of money. Thinking is a waste of pause. No, I can't. I got to keep going. No, no, no. He's saying that there are things in life that if you do not stop to appreciate them, you won't see the value. You won't feel the value. You won't feel at peace. And there is no value. There's no monetary value, sir. Um, but the value is that they are irreplaceable.
I would even argue to that they can't even value,
Mm.
right? Um, in a sense of like you just said, like unless it's monetary, unless it's some sort of measurement to it, I don't think they can comprehend or understand those things. Um, maybe it's because their parents never showed it to them, never expressed it to them. Maybe it's because they never had rejection in their lives. They always just get what they want anyways. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. I have no answer. Um, but yeah, I truly think that they cannot value, right?
Mhm.
Um, I mean, I've seen lots of like TV shows and movies where it's like a super rich character who has basically everything, um, and like it's not enough.
Hmm.
But then they'll have like this one dumb little trinket from like their mom or dad or something like that,
Hmm.
and if they lose that, their whole entire personality
Right,
just like
right,
goes to shit.
right.
Um, I don't know what it is for Elon Musk or Trump. Maybe they both have like one thing that they have from their mom and dad or whoever it is,
I
right?
don't know.
Right? Maybe I think everyone has something, but like
I would like to think.
yeah, but like I mean, like at least for me, I'm really thinking about it. I think about what Scott Galloway said. Yeah, like for a lot of men, you just need like need to work out, be some support groups, some friends, um, and I think at least for a lot of men, it's the fact that the way we measure ourselves are by measurable things, right? How tall
Mm,
you are, how much money you
mm,
make, how much weight you have, how
wow.
many cars you have, right? How many girls you slept with, right? Those are all measurable things, right? And sure, if you want to compare yourself measurably to somebody else, you are losing, right? If you want to measure yourself that way, I would argue to that you need to readjust what you value and how do you measure that, right? Um, Meaning that if it's just about money, go for it, right? If it's just about money for you, go for it. My warning to you is the fact that you're going to be miserable.
You know what's funny? At first, I thought you said miserable, and then you said measurable, and I realized measurable equals miserable
Yeah, yeah, essentially.
because those are miserable things. Or because at some point there will always be more. At some point, the measurable won't measure up because there's always going to be, and even I would even say that for when you're looking for a partner, there's always going to be someone taller. There's always going to be someone with more money. There's always going to be someone that can push more weight. There's always going to be someone that, even if you did this all statistically, could
Hmm.
add up. That croc could probably spit out at you. But the things you can't measure, and to an extent, attraction is even in there. This is why I say attraction matters, but just don't put numbers on it. Like your number, your attraction isn't really shouldn't be a calculation, right? Like this tall, this much weight, this hip
Hmm.
to whatever ratio, like this thigh gap inches.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
it should be. How does the like is the person doing things that you're attracted to? Does the person make you feel a certain way? Could you see yourself, yes, kissing them? Um, like that's what attraction should be. And then like connection, chemistry. Do you like talking to the person? Do they make you laugh a lot? Like all of these things aren't really measurable. They're just there and they mean a lot. Does a person make you feel better about yourself? Like if you want to do any sort of measure, look at it like a net positive. Is it a net positive being with the person? Their money won't matter if they make you feel like shit. That's a net negative. So, if anything, and I want to close with something else also for the people who are single. Um, Try to focus when you're dating someone on the moments like Scott mentioned. Now, we're not married with children, I'm not. But I could tell you earlier last year, I was with someone, even though I'm not with her anymore, and she fell asleep on me, and Gallardo fell asleep on me, Gallardo, my cat.
Hmm.
And we had a blanket over us, and Gallardo's here. I'm playing MLB The Show, and Jazz hits a triple because, of course, he does, because he's got that power and speed. And that was like the first moment I can remember being with any like woman that I stopped and said, "Oh, this is it. This is
Hmm.
what it could be. It could be just this. This is one of those moments when you think that everything kind of is here that I want in that moment." And I don't think enough of us, even as people looking for a partner, pause and have that moment. Gallardo just came here. He has been summoned. Um, so I don't think we pause. I think we're doing the same thing. I think we're always wanting more. Like if we're always calibrating and trying to optimize, and we don't pause to put those moments in when we just feel, fulfilled for what in the moment, for the type of things we want, and when there kind of can't be more because you can't quantify it. So I think even in the search process right now, um, we don't value that enough. I think even as single people looking for dating, searching for someone, we don't value those things enough. And I think we really this is where a lot of the social media and um, things we watch, and unfortunately other podcasts, not Pilled, but other podcasts, I think, are giving men the wrong idea about the right woman being this combination of these things, and being also someone that like what I would mention about the red pill group is the interesting thing is that in relationships they really there's nothing about seeing their boys happy. Like that's all I care about. I don't care about if you have a trophy. Like I don't. I would think it's weird, honestly, if you had someone that, and their purpose was a trophy. But everything with red pill and men and women is not about the moments Scott is talking about, feeling fulfilled. These beautiful moments where there's no what another person's thought isn't in the equation.
Hmm.
Only your connection to those people and things you love and people you love around you matter. I don't see that. This anyone that thinks those types of um, alpha dog, Dr. Alpha Dog Peterson, whatever people, that they are going to help you feel loved and fulfilled. All it's asking you to do is basically be in relationships and have experiences with women that other men would be jealous of. That's it. It's not about you being fulfilled. It's not about you actually having meaningful experiences with women. And I think men don't think about having meaningful experiences with women. I think men think about too often quantifying experiences with women.
Can I shit on red pillars now?
Of course you can.
All right, thank God. At least speaking about the portion of like the guys, red pillars who are worried about worried about what other men will think about them. Just remember, there's nothing against them. It's gay. All right. If you're worried about what another man thinks about your wife, what another man thinks about your life and what you do in your life, that's gay and you're gay. Nothing against the gay community whatsoever. In fact, I implore you to be gay. I will respect you more for
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Right? All I'm saying is stop cosplaying, right? And just be who you are.
yeah.
Okay? That's is that simple. Is that simple. And if anyone tells me like, Olivia, you're gay, yeah, I am. I am a little bit.
For your wife.
No, for my bros. I love my bros. And that's gay,
Oh, okay.
right?
Because they're making it sound like the red pillars make it sound like it's gay to be really interested in a woman and have meaningful relationships with her. So it's like,
Oh no, that no. I think in the mind of a red pillar, it is you become somehow a pussy if you like the fact that women like you or like your wife. You
if
become
you are
weak,
what you eat,
which I am. So
which I am too. So. I saw a guy
um,
argue it's actually gay not to, which is if so much of straightness is being based on basically our sex, our genitalia, and that genitalia you don't want to have in the most intimate way, that makes you a little gay. I honestly am kind of on his side about that one.
I
But
no, I
yeah,
completely
go
agree.
on. Yeah.
Completely agree. Completely agree. And again, if you're what you're worried about is like, oh, how will the boys think of me? I would
Right.
put it like this, right? I'll put it like this. If you're worried that your boys think of you negatively
Mhm.
for not sleeping with a girl, in my opinion, you should get some different boys,
Mhm.
right? If they're gonna rag, it's different. Of course, it's different context situations, right? right? If it's a situation where it's like the girl was interested, she said like, "Hey, come over, I want this," right? And you drop the ball.
Mhm.
Have fun, guys, right? Brag on 'em a little bit, sure.
And
But
that dude liked the person, and it would have been
and
like a
yeah,
full
right. It's
experience.
mutual. It's mutual.
Not
It's
if
a
she's
mutual
like an
thing.
abusive lunatic.
No, right? But like
Yeah,
it's a
yeah,
mutual thing. But he missed the cues, missed the
yeah.
miscommunication, right? Yeah, brag on him, sure.
Mhm.
If it's a situation where you and the boys are going out, right, and like you guys are just out going out dancing,
Mhm.
and like I don't know, let's say like it's a five guys, and two guys somehow get with a girl to go home, and the other three don't. Those two guys should not be ragging up the three guys who did not, and be like, look at you, you didn't get none. I got some. You're stupid.
Mhm.
That is just stupid. What are we comparing here? What
Right.
are we right? Because knock on wood, that person, you and that person could have an STD STI sharing together. Who knows, right? You know what the consequences are.
Right. Men look at so much of sex as almost detached from the woman. It's like you're
It's
getting
literally.
yeah,
Oh
you're
man, we're
getting the
about to do full
surface from
circle.
her.
It's
Yeah,
almost we're about to do full circle. It's almost a game,
it's almost a game. It's
and
almost
and like and the thing is though, at least to me, is just like you're. I don't even know how to compare this. It's kind of like it's like one guy is trying to play sport racing game. Another guy is an open world. How do
mm,
you measure those two things?
right. One guy's playing fucking Skyrim, and the other guy is playing Forza. No, not even Forza, Gran Turismo. Um,
Oof, I love
yeah,
Gran Turismo.
yeah,
Great game. But yeah, but those are two different games, two different rule sets. It's just no. If anything, right? You should probably take the best of both video games and be like, hey, how can I like put a little more? How
hmm
can I do a little racing in Skyrim, right?
fucking
Right?
elder riding a horse or some shit. I didn't play Skyrim. I just
Uh,
joke at people who. No offense to them. I just the people who are like obsessed with it. I joke on. But anyway, um, yeah, and I always say, if you get someone based on game, be surprised when games are played.
yeah, essentially, I agree with
So
that.
they get that, and then they complain if a woman's playing games with them. And I'm like, well, if this whole relationship was kind of this push and pull, like trick you, like
Sh-
this and
You,
that.
sh-
It's like negging and all this bullshit, and she was into that. Well, she's gonna be into doing it with you, and then so don't
yeah,
be surprised. Again, red pillars don't want you to have a meaningful, loving relationship, and so much of us, our anger as men that we don't talk about, it's actually not just the sex, it's the intimacy. It's the
hmm
ability to be with someone in such a, yes, sexual, but also literally and figuratively naked state, and the person accepts you. And you're not going to get that from fucking Joe Rogan or Andrew Tate because no, everyone's masking it. But we're all human, and a lot of men, if there's not a woman in your life that accepts you in that state, that naked state, both metaphorically and literally,
hmm
you feel like there's a void. And I felt like that. But the answer isn't to turn women into fucking Crash Bandicoot. So let's end on that.
yeah,
Um, thank you as always for adding your married, fathered wisdom to this.
yeah. Wait, let me just make sure. Shan, are we still married? All right. She seemed confused when she said yeah, but yes.
Yeah, because she
Huh?
probably thought you're like, why are you
I was.
asking?
I'm just asking because Evan was like, hey,
Are you
thank you
still
for
a
your insight
father?
for being married. Oh, I'll ask that. Am I still the father of the kid?
Oh my god. Oh my god.
That's a no.
I hope she's not rethinking it now that you're asking me these
Should
things.
they see a picture of your daughter?
All right, you know what? She made me shut up. First, she said, "Oh my god," and then she like, "Should they see a picture of your daughter because my daughter looks like me?"
Oh, that's cute.
She looks
Yeah,
nothing like me.
Well, now
the quote.
there's always trouble. I always
Yeah,
trouble. Well, Gallardo acts like me because I don't eat nonstop. I eat nonstop, and so he doesn't understand why he can't.
Because good food is good food, right? That's
Yeah, but he's like, he sees the refrigerator and he's like, "What the fuck?
you
What
can
am I
do, but
getting?"
I can't.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, everyone who will hopefully listen to this and one day sponsor us. And see you next time.